Hello everyone, welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet Along. Today we're making the lovely crisscross square. Crisscross 2 because we've already done a crisscross square previously. So grab your hook and yarn and let's get started on how this is made. Okay, so we're going to start in a different way to usual. We've done this way a few times and it's kind of a slightly simpler way of doing a magic ring without actually doing a magic ring. So what we're going to do is chain 4 and then we're going to work into this very first chain down here at the bottom, and the first 3 will count as a double crochet. We're going to do 15 double crochets into that bottom chain, and that is as simple as this round is. So that bottom chain will now act as your magic ring. So you're just going to work into that, and then when you've got your 15 double crochet in there, 15 plus your chain, making 16 stitches altogether, you'll just pull in that tail and cinch your ring closed. So I'm going to count how many I've got, and I'm going to continue until I have 16 altogether, including my starting chain. Okay, so you're just going to cinch this tail in, just pull on that tail and close that chain nicely there, and then you're going to slip stitch in the top of your chain 3, and that will finish up that round. There we go. And then when you're sewing this tail in, just make sure that you sew it in nice and securely, and that you make sure it's knotted off well so that it won't come undone, because it will open very easily, just as the magic ring will. If you're not used to working with the magic ring, you won't be familiar with that being quite insecure at the moment. Okay, so round 2, we are going to chain 3, and this will count as your first double crochet, and then we're going to do another double crochet in the same stitch. Chain 1, and then 2 more double crochet in that first stitch, and this will count as your first corner. And then you are going to do a double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Yarn's getting caught up somewhere. Okay, and then in the next stitch you're going to do another corner, so 2 double crochet, chain 1, and 2 more double crochet in that same stitch. And then you're going to repeat that around, 3 double crochet, then your corner in the next stitch, 3 double crochet, corner in the next stitch, and then you've got 3 double crochet to do along this last side, and then slip stitch into the top of your chain. And there we are at the end of round 2. So round 3, we are going to start doing our corner front post double crochet 2 together. Now that might sound like a complicated stitch. It's quite a long abbreviation. FPDC 2 TOG front post double crochet 2 together. So what we're going to do is chain 1, and then over this current stitch we're on and the next stitch we are going to do a front post double crochet 2 together. So essentially it is a double crochet 2 together, which is where we work 2 stitches 2 partial double crochets, and then finish it off together. So we've done that quite a few times, okay? So we'll be making these 2 stitches into 1 stitch at the top. So that's that part of it. And the front post part is when we do a stitch around the post. So we go in, behind, and pull that post of the stitch to the front. That's our front post stitch, and then we continue and work our stitch around there rather than in the top. So we're going to combine the 2 stitch types. So we're going to yarn over for our double crochet and then go around this post behind, bringing that post to the front, and then we're going to start our double crochet. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we stop there with that last loop on the hook. Yarn over for the start of your second double crochet, go in and behind that next stitch, bringing that post to the front, and then yarn over, pull through for your double crochet, yarn over, pull through first 2 loops, leaving that last loop on the hook, and then we yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and that is your front post double crochet 2 together. So not actually as complicated as it sounds, and if you look, if my camera will just focus, you get these nice little sort of loops around your post of your stitch, and it gives a really nice effect. So that's how we're going to do that stitch, and then in our corner space we are going to do 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet, and that is how we will do the corners in every round until we get near to the end, okay? And then we're going to do another front post double crochet 2 together around the next 2 stitches. So yarn over, go behind that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So the start of your first double crochet, yarn over, go behind the second, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you've got 3 loops left on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3, and that is your stitch. So your front post double crochet 2 together. That's how we're going to do that. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So make sure it is the one next to your double crochet. Don't it would be quite hard to go into that stitch, but just we're going to go into the very next stitch. Okay, so 1, 2 and 3, and then we've got 2 stitches left, so we're going to do that front post double crochet 2 together again. And then our corner, 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 more double crochets. Okay, you're going to repeat this around, so you're going to do 3 single crochets along here now. Sorry, no, you're going to do your front post double crochet 2 together on these next 2 stitches, and then you're going to do 3 single crochet and then another front post 2 together, and then your corner, another front post 2 together, 3 single crochet, front post 2 together, corner, front post 2 together, and then finish with 3 single crochets. So if you need a reminder, rewind the video about 5 minutes, and you can follow back along, and then I'll see you when I've done my last 3 single crochet. Okay, and then we are going to slip stitch into the top of your front post 2 together, and there we go. So round 4 is almost exactly the same, only now we have 2 extra stitches on our side. We'll be working 2 extra stitches. So we had 3 single crochet in the middle. On this round we will have 5 single crochet in the middle. Okay, so to start with, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a single crochet in the top of this stitch here. Now, it's not always 100% easy to find where you started on your stitch if you kind of lose count. So I'm just going to pop a stitch marker in here, partly because I'm a bit tired, and when I get tired I get a bit confused. And we all know that I love to make life easier, so I'm popping a stitch marker on that first stitch, and that will be where I do my slip stitch when I come back around at the end. Okay, so then our last 2 stitches on this side will always be our front post 2 together. Okay, our last 2 stitches will always be that stitch. So we're going to do that front post double crochet 2 together around these last 2 stitches, and then we're going to do our corner just as before, 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet. Okay, and just as the last 2 will always be a front post 2 together, our first 2 on the row will be a front post 2 together. So you can go ahead and do that stitch now. Okay, and then you are going to make 5. I just said 5, didn't I, to you a moment ago? You're going to make 5 single crochets along your side. So 1 will be in the top of your front post stitch from last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the last one of the 5 will be in that front post stitch, and then you've got your last 2 stitches here, which will be that front post 2 together. Okay, so nice and simple. You have your corner, and then you have front post 2 together, 5 single crochets, front post 2 together, and then your corner. So repeat that around this next 2 sides, and when you come back around this side here, you will do only 4 single crochets because you've got your 5th one here with the marker. Okay, and I will meet you back around this side. Don't forget, you're going to slip stitch where that marker is, or in that first single crochet. And this is why I like to put a stitch marker on, because if I'm not counting properly, it looks like you have a stitch here. Okay, it looks like a stitch there because we have our slip stitch from the last round and the first chain that we made. So you could easily think that you have to do another stitch there, and you don't. So that's why I really value popping a stitch marker in there, so that I know that's where my last, where my slip stitch is going to go. Okay, so there we go. Now round 5 again is almost the same. We are going to chain 1 and do a single crochet in that very same stitch. Again, I'm going to put my stitch marker on there so that I don't get confused with any other stitches. And then we'll be doing 1 more single crochet in the top of this front post stitch, and then our front post 2 together with those double crochets. Okay, and then our corner, 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet, front post 2 together, and then you will be doing 7 single crochets along your side, 7 single crochets, and that is the only difference now. You'll be doing 7 instead of 5. Okay, and you're just going to continue in exactly the same way as the previous round, just making 7 there, and then doing your front post 2 together. So I'm going to leave you to this round, and I will see you at the end when I've slip stitched into here. So you'll be doing 5 single crochets along here, because you did 2 to start with. Okay, and I'll see you soon. There we go, it's looking good, it's working up lovely. So we're going to have 9 single crochets across each side now, but we're going to start with 3 first of all, and then so when we come back around we'll have 6 to finish. Okay, but 9 on each side. So just as before, chain 1 and then single crochet in that same stitch. Once again, going to put my stitch marker on there, and then we'll do 6 when we come back. So do another 2 single crochets there, and then it's those last 2 stitches, so a front post 2 together, and you know exactly where this is heading, just the same as before. Your corner, and then you're going to do that front post stitch on these 2 here, and then you're going to work 9 single crochets, do your front post 2 together, and then your corner. 9 front post stitches, 9 front post stitches and corner, and then this side 6 to finish. Okay, and I'll see you at the end of this round. Here we go, at the end of round 6. Now we're going to do another couple of rounds in exactly the same way. So you will start with your chain 1 and single crochet in that same stitch, and then this time you will have 11 along a side. We had 9 last time, this time you will have 11, and we will start with 4 on this side. So we've done 1, and then you'll do another 3. So when you come back to finish this side, you will have 7 left to do, and on all the other sides you will do 11 stitches. Okay, so you'll be doing exactly the same as before, but with 11 stitches along each side. Okay, and then do one more round. Unless you work, unless you work quite loosely, you might not need the next round. Do another round of that. So that time you'll have 13 stitches along a side, and you will start with 5 on this side, and then 8. Okay, so do this round and then one more round in exactly the same way, just increasing to 13. Okay, and then I'll see you back. And here we go. How gorgeous is that looking? And it's got such a beautiful texture. Okay, so it is the last round, and we're going to work it exactly the same as we have done. The only difference we're going to do is along these sides we're going to work double crochets rather than single crochets, and that just helps to straighten these sides a bit more. Okay, so we are going to chain 3 this time, and this will count as our first double crochet. So chain 3, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 1, 3, and 4. Okay, and then we're going to do our double front post double crochet 2 together, just as before, and then our corner as before, okay, and then your front post 2 together, and then you're going to double crochet along the next 15 stitches. Double crochet the next 15 stitches, and then you'll do your front post 2 together, then you'll do your corner, front post 2 together, 15 double crochet, and then continue around. And when you come back to the last side, you'll just do another 8 double crochet and slip stitch into your top chain. So I'll see you when I've finished. And there we go. How beautiful is this square? I love it. Love it. So I hope you've found that tutorial useful and helpful, and I can't wait to see what colour you've done your squares in and how they're looking. The link to the Facebook group, as always, is in that description below, and I would love to see photos of what you've done with this square. And if you found it useful and helpful, then please click that like button just down there, give us a thumbs up, show us some love and appreciation, and until next time, just keep hooking and don't let your tea get cold.